All right. I'm really proud of this team. To get to win the ACC outright, 28 wins this point of the year, and just their professionalism, their approach, they've been an absolute joy to coach. We talked about after Saturday. It's great to get a share. Like, that means a lot. But let's get this thing outright. And we knew NC State. Coach Wade. I mean, look, he's a really good coach, and we knew we could see some different things tonight. They went zone, and I thought we did a really good job of just handling that. Not right away, but our guys really worked through it. And we put 9 guys on the floor that impact winning. And I'm proud to see the individual growth of everybody on the team, but also just how they've come together. And I think we're really connected, and what they're doing is incredible. Proud of both these guys, proud of everybody in that locker room, our staff, our fans, everybody that's been on this journey with us. Obviously, we got a long way to go here, but really proud of this team, and we'll open up for any questions.
Matt, go ahead. Coach, y'all won 7 in a row now since the loss at UNC. How much was that loss at UNC a turning point this season for you guys?
I don't know if it's a turning point. I think it's just another, reference point and step in the season. I think any loss gives you the opportunity to look a little bit differently at games. And I certainly did that as a coach, what I can do better for these guys. I'm sure all these guys looked at each other in the mirror. And when you lose, I think you can splinter. I think it's very easy to do. And we've chosen the 2 losses that we've had to become more connected, to really attack the areas where we can grow and stick together. I think that's what it's all about.
Cam, can you tell us at what point that happened and who got you and what was the play that it happened?
It was some point in the second half, one of their big men, and just the Wolfpack got me. Yeah, they got long claws, so. Yeah, I mean, I think it just goes to show our fight, the toughness we brought to this game. Proud of our guys, like Coach said, when they see outright. So it's big time for our team for sure.
For both players back here, Dame, how much zone were you expecting to see tonight? And then what adjustments were made there in the first few minutes after a few possessions and not scoring?
I mean, we didn't expect to see zone the whole game. We knew that they could come up with a bunch of different things. They switched up their defense a lot throughout the year. But, we were prepared for them to throw out something random like they did. So I thought, like Coach said, we started off a little slow in the zone, but we started to figure it out. We had 47 at half, so we found some things that were working for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the coaching staff have done a great job just to prepare us for everything we can possibly see in the game. So every time we see something, we recognize it and we are able to execute whatever we have planned. So I think we just have to keep rolling, just keep doing whatever we're doing and just getting better.
Yeah, John, Copeland has really driven their offense this year. Just talk about the defense on him and being effective, especially in the first half and taking the big lead.
Well, he's a unique player from the standpoint that he's, has good size and, really passes. And I thought that, one, Dame did a terrific job of just keeping him in front and making him work for everything. But also we switched, and I thought some of that took away his passing, something he does so well. And really, I think for me, it's the collective awareness of this group to understand the scouting report, to understand what we're really not willing to give up. And also, in doing that, he had some finishes, but I thought he had some finishes over the top, and we made him work for it.
In the back, go ahead.
Cam, going back to your scar, you know that you're getting the toughest matchup night in and night out. What do you do both mentally and physically to prepare, knowing that you were getting the toughest matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm going to have to play through physicality. They've shown that throughout the year. Just going with the mindset to play through contact. When you do that, you get rewarded with fouls. You get to get angles, things like that. So you can't shy away from the contact. You got to really initiate it, to be honest. Be the aggressor. So like you said, I get tough matchups every night, double teams. But it's just about playing through physicality, making the right play, being aggressive when you can. Yeah.
I mean, we've scheduled where as much as you can see, we've seen. In this group, I think not necessarily that haven't learned anything new each game, but I think they continue to grow. So I think from that perspective, I'm learning every game. But just their approach, man. Because I think as a coach, you're always thinking about what can go wrong and what if we're not ready. And I never worry with you guys, right? It's never, I never do that. But just to me, it's their approach to show up as a young team every game with a competitive spirit. I just think is unique and high level, and that's been the most impressive part to me.
Coach, congrats on the win and clinching the ACC regular season title. You've been seeing a lot of different looks defensively recently. We saw the zone defense from NC State tonight. Teams playing the gap differently. How does seeing these different looks help prepare your team for March?
Well, I think it helps a lot, and let's be honest, a lot of it's Cam. It just is. I mean, we've seen a lot of different game plans with him, and the IQ of this group to understand and figure out different ways to attack doubles, to attack zone. We've seen switching. We've seen a lot, and I think that we have an advantage to attack any of them as long as we continue to trust the pass, play together. When that ball is moving, man, I think that's been a big difference the last part of the year. I mean, 21 assists tonight. I think 13 of our first 16 shots were assisted, and that's been a big strength. We have a really good passing team, and then understand how to exploit mismatches or how to exploit whatever coverage the team is in.
Jon, over here to your right. When it comes to teams switching up between zone and man, why are paint touches, no matter what the defense is throwing, so important to you guys to set up those outside shots?
Well, I think for us, we're a team that's built inside out. That's how it's been. I think just in general in the game of basketball, you get cleaner looks from three if you can do that. And then obviously we got two guys in Pat and Cam. When they touch it, I mean, look, tonight they're 12 of 16, and 12 of 15 from the foul line, and 14 fouls drawn. It's unique, and yeah, they have 37 points, but I think also, Dame would say, or any of our guys, just playing off gives us open looks. And so that inside-out attack is key, and then these guys have really embraced it, and good things have happened from there.
Hey, I appreciate that, Coach.
Yeah. He also had 2 missed free throws, so to make sure that. But anyway, we'll let him slide on that.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't talked about the game yet, but obviously we're looking forward to it. It's a game that we wish we could have back, but basketball, there's no do-overs. So we haven't talked about it yet, but we're definitely excited for that game.
Yeah, like I said, we didn't really now the focus is on this game, just learning from, what we could have done better, and just shifting into UNC and just having our game plan and trying to execute our game plan.
Jon, I think you said Saturday that this team has grown as much in one season as any that you've had so far. What do you think is unique about this group that has enabled that or allowed it to come true?
I think a lot. I think the fact of how this team came together. We have 5 freshmen. You don't see that very often anymore. 5 returners. You don't see that very often anymore. You put them together, you really don't see that. And so I think the fact of how we're built with size, really good versatility. And then I think for us as a coaching staff, we've had to adjust and continue to try to help them as the fact that we have those guys in that position where they can grow like crazy, during the year. And, look, I'll just say about Dame, that's what he's done. I think it's incredibly difficult to do what he's done coming in from never living over here, let alone playing over here, right? To go through, he had an injury earlier in the preseason. He's worked his butt off every single day, really played to his strengths, really attacking, growing his game. And to see what he did tonight, 8 rebounds.
Ooh,
8 rebounds. He wasn't doing that in September, or no. But just the way that they're learning how to impact winning. So I think that's a big part of what makes us unique is the way that it was formed, and then how we've grown from there.
Roy, you got the last one.
Yeah, Coach. overseas, coming stateside. What did you just say just about just his perseverance, being coachable, and just being patient nevertheless?
It says a lot. I mean, I'm lucky to genuinely. I'm very lucky to coach these guys in the locker room. They all allow us to get on them, coach them, push them, and it always helps as a coach when they're just as hard on themselves, or if not harder, right? And so you're not trying to convince somebody of areas they have to improve. And I've coached now several guys that have come from international, whether it's Tyrese, come on, now Dame. He was playing the highest level. It's still an adjustment. It's still an adjustment. And I think I've wanted him at times not to be patient. I think that's always good, where you're not patient, but you understand the process of how you have to impact winning and grow your game. And that's where trust is formed along the way of just trying to figure that out. And you look at what he's done. He doesn't have to score 16 points to really impact winning. Great with it if he does. I mean, shoot, that's awesome. But to me, it's his approach, his work ethic, all of our guys, their families, people around them. Like that makes a huge difference for me as a coach and for these guys.
Thanks.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please let the coach